Hey guys, what's going on? Just going to get us set for our next topic here, our next lesson, and that next lesson includes it's going to be about factoring. So probably the most important thing that we're going to do this year is understand how to factor, how to solve quadratics. Those are the two biggest, most important things that we need to accomplish this year in Algebra 2. All right, we're going to start by just talking about the different types of polynomials that you're going to be asked to factor. And I got a new little touchpad over here that I'm trying for the first time. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so just bear with me. But let's see. So the first type of problem that we're going to look to factor is when something has what's called a GCF. In other words, a greatest common factor. All right, so we will be classifying problems into a certain category. The first category is greatest common factor. All right. What that means is we're going to assess the problem that we're given. And let's look at a couple examples here. All right, the first one is 9a squared minus 18a. All right, we're going to ask ourselves, all right, how do we factor this? Well, the first thing you always want to ask yourself is there a number or a variable that's common that I could factor out of each term? So, for instance, here, we can take out a 9 because 9 goes into one and the other, and 9a, all right, and then a minus 2 would be left. Okay. How did I do that? Well, again, look at 9a squared and 18a and ask yourself, okay, what is common about both of those? Well, both 9 and 18 have a factor of 9. A squared and a have a factor of a. So if I factor that out of each term and then ask myself what is left, a minus 2, that would be my final answer. In this problem, all right, 5x cubed minus 7x squared. Well, first, look at the numbers, 5 and 7. There's nothing common about 5 and 7. But this has x cubed, this has x squared, all right, meaning both of which have x squared in them. So x squared is common, all right? So I'm going to take that out and ask myself what's left. Well, 5x, right, minus 7. And if you're ever unsure, it's always easier going back and redistributing in to double check your work. And that's why we've spent some time the last week or so focusing on exponents and the properties of them. Meaning, think about if you distribute this x squared to both terms. Wouldn't you get 5x cubed minus 7x squared? So that's telling me, right, that we factored it correctly. Let's look at the next one here. All right, 16 and 32. Well, 16 is a factor of 32, so that's common. So I'm going to take that out. 8 to the 5th and 8 to the 4th. Well, both terms have 8 to the 4th in them, right? So when both terms have the same variable, take the lesser amount of the variables, the smaller amount, and factor that out. So in this case, both have b. There's b cubed and just b. So I'm going to take out what's common, which is just b. And I'm asking myself what's left. Well, it looks like a, right, b squared minus 2, and then nothing else. A and b are already there. So think, redistribute it back in. You're going to get 16 a to the 5th b cubed. You're going to get negative 32 a to the 4th b. So we're done. We've factored out the GCF there. Look in the next problem. X squared, x to the 4th, x cubed. Well, what we can notice here, right, none of them they all have just the coefficient 1, all right, but each one of them is obviously an x. The smallest amount is x squared. So if I take out an x squared, what would be left? Well, 1 plus x squared plus x, right? Redistribute that back in. You get x squared, you'll get x to the fourth, you'll get x cubed, right? Because when you're multiplying, you add exponents. Let's try one more here. All right, so 2x cubed minus x. Well, a 2 is not common because this one doesn't have it. So an x is. So I'll take out an x. And now what's left is 2x squared. Now it's not 0 there, right? There needs to be a placeholder. That placeholder here would just be minus 1. Again, redistribute it back. 2x cubed minus x. Had I not put that negative 1, I just left it blank, which some students have a tendency to want to do. If we redistribute it back in, we would just get 2x cubed. All right, so be aware of that, right? Now, again, this is our first kind of quick video here about GCFs. Hopefully that helped, and hopefully you're ready to try some problems on your own. All right, thanks, guys.